Burned and disgraced YouTuber Boblax recently got into a spat fight with Nicholas Diorio on Twitter after Bobby got exposed for running a alt account where he talked about himself in the third person, flexing how intelligent and awesome he and his content are as if he was some kind of super fan, while also browsing not safe for work subreddits. This culminated in Boblax making up a completely baseless allegation about Nicholas Diorio, with Josh bringing up an exposed video that was made on him 4 years ago by a commentary orbiter named Comment Cop, claiming that actually this account was Nicholas Diorio the entire time. The proof? Well, there is none at all. However, every single YouTuber and Twitter user that hates Diorio believed it with no evidence, and did all of us a favor by giving us free content, posting it on their Twitter timelines. Welcome to the internet versus Stone Dagger, Boblax's alt. It starts when DJ Screwdriver tweets out, "Boblax likes archiving things, and I do too. Recently, I found a sus Reddit account that only has public posts about Boblax on H3H3 Productions. Looking at the archived Reddit history, I believe Stone Dagger is Boblax." He then attaches an image of Stone Dagger's Reddit account, and it shows 4 posts, one from a month ago with the caption, "Bobby owns Keem for posting fake news about her." Then another one, "Bobby likes the nuke." And then 2 years ago, Ethan has refunded the Bobby plushies, and a comment on the same post that says, "Boblax made a video last night going over everything that happened," and then linking his own video. DJ continues his thread by saying, "As of now, the link to the Reddit is still live. Probably will get deleted soon, but as of now, everyone can see the account was made on July 25th, 2016. I will provide the archive links at the end of the thread, and I will construct a timeline of these posts with screenshots. On the day the account was made, July 25th, 2016, Stone Dagger posted this about the Trashy Trio, a channel Boblax was a part of." He then attaches an image of an archived Reddit post with the title, "I think I found out why I prefer older JonTron, mainly pre-Hercules games, to more recent JonTron. I found a new LP channel recently called the Trashy Trio. They are so funny and very unfiltered / genuine. They remind me a lot of Game Grumps in 2012, to be honest." DJ continues to thread by saying, "Stone Dagger posted a Boblax video on our League of Legends on July 28th, 2016, a video with 450 views. And it shows this post with the caption, 'This Darius,' which links to a video called Downs Darius that was posted 8 years ago that has just under 450 views. He continues the thread, "Once again, Stone Dagger posted a Boblax video via Reddit comments on September 17th, 2017. This Reddit comment was made on the same day the video was posted." And he shows a Reddit comment that's replying to a post with the title, "As a casual fan and non-Twitch user, here's a recap I found of all the drama clips. This shit is insane." And then saying the same thing again on another post titled, "So what's going on summary," which then links to his own video, which is H3 versus Keemstar full recap all tweets. The thread continues by saying, "Stone Dagger posted a Boblax video on our videos on April 13th, 2019, and he attaches this image showing the proof." Then DJ says the Stone Dagger account was inactive for 3 years until December 8th, 2022, when they posted on H3H3 Productions, breaking the news that Ethan refunded the Bobby plushies. Stone Dagger also posted a Reddit comment linking a Boblax video about the topic, and he attaches the Ethan has refunded the Bobby plushies archive, along with a comment that says, "Boblax made a video last night going over everything that happened." The thread continues by saying, "Stone Dagger posted these comments on January 13th, 2023. The subreddits are the following: r/Asian hotties, r/Asians gone wild, and r/college. It is worth noting that this is the only content not related to Boblax, and it's 3 posts, the first one on our college. Someone writes with the caption, "You write my sociology paper, I'll let you touch me wherever you want. Deal?" And Stone Dagger replies, "Way too much work. Pass." Then on Asians Gone Wild, someone posts with the caption, "Would you suck on them?" And Stone Dagger replies, "Nah." Then on Asian Hotties, someone posts, "Am I fuckable enough?" And Stone Dagger replies, "No." The thread continues by saying, "Stone Dagger posted this on July 21st, 2024 to H3H Productions. The same day Boblax got mad at Turkey Tom's reply to him." And he starts by showing Turkey Tom and Boblax's interaction that happened back in July of last year, where Boblax tweets out, "Non-binary people are badass and valid, by the way." And Tom replies, "Thank God you chimed in." And Boblax says, "Okay bro, I just wanted to say something I was thinking. Like tweeting I love pineapple on pizza. I'm not trying to virtue signal. Sucks that I can't compliment something without it becoming a big deal because it's politically and socially divisive." And then Tom replies, "Praise Skibbity or perish." Then he attaches the Stone Dagger posts, which are made on the same day, on the H3H3 production subreddit with the titles, "No wonder Bobby is so right right wing. Can't even say people are valid and cool without getting hate from his community. And then another post that says, the commentary community is so annoying, eye roll emoji. Bobby was right. The thread continues. Stone Dagger posted this on December 21st, 2024 to H3H3 Productions, calling out Keemstar goons trying to sabotage Bobby plushie sales. And then it's 2 posts to the H3 Productions subreddit with the title, Keemstar goons are trying to sabotage Bobby sales with multi-hour-long videos. He's still mad about getting called a cuck online. The thread continues saying, once again, Stone Dagger posted to H3H3 Productions on January 3rd, 2025. The title of the post was Bo Black's slander and linked an Augie RFC video. As you can see on screen, it is a video with the caption, he's lying. On February 2nd, 2025 and on February 4th, 2025, Stone Dagger posts more to H3H3 Productions. Added the screenshots on these posts. Interesting to see the last screenshot was taken 1 minute after the original post was posted. And then it's 3 posts, one that says Bobby owns Keem for posting fake news about her. The second has the same caption. And the third one says Bobby likes the nuke, all on the H3 subreddit. The one regarding the nuke is Josh just making comments about the Hassan nuke. And the one about Keemstar is Drama Alert tweeting out, transgender YouTuber Boblax is being accused of catfishing with pictures from Reddit. And he quote tweets it saying, bald YouTuber Keemstar is being accused of writing a on the train tracks just outside of Buffalo, New York with videos from X. Don't need to catfish, stay mad. And attaches this image. And finally, DJ ends it off with just the archives, but he quote tweets this final post that we just read with the title, it has come to my attention that you cannot see the view post activity button unless you own the account. Stone Dagger posted a screenshot only Boblax could take. And that screenshot we just looked at of the bald YouTuber Keemstar post, well, there is a view post activity bit down here at the bottom, which is an Android feature that only shows up if it's your own post and your own screenshot. DJ Screwdriver proves that here by screenshotting his own post where you can see view post activity and then screenshotting someone else's post where you cannot see that. So this essentially confirms the account is Boblax. Unseen tweets out, imagine if all of these freaks were in the same room, and shows a photo of Boblax, Male Monkey, Throbbing Horsecock, Mr. Miss Manchi, Stone Dagger, and Boblax India, all of his alts. Then Nicholas Uriel caught wind of this and covered the Stone Dagger allegations on his stream, and Boblax replied to a re-upload of his coverage by saying, how you gonna clown on me for some Reddit self-promo when you literally have promoted every personal drama you've been in heavily on Comments Cop? And Diorio replies, you need to relax, Boblax. You're stressing yourself out. Try sniffing some nice fragrances. And Biggest Blunder replies, Boblax, your house, it's foreclosing. Hurry, the payments. And Boblax replies to Nick by saying, you making an exposed video about me on your Comments Cop channel after chat backed me initially during the Booba stream was so pathetic. You can't stand to lose any arguments online. And Diorio replies, all you're proving is that I never swept. Nicholas Diorio screenshots this and posted on his page by saying Boblax has responded to today's video, along with Boblax is accusing me of backstabbing him in 2020 by creating the video that alleged he was a copyright abuser. Boblax then doubles down on this allegation by tweeting out, it's been over 3 years and Nick Diorio is still tweeting about Zero on his secret alt account. He attaches an image from Technicals from 3 years ago, the commentary double standard, and then a screenshot of Comment Cop's Twitter page where there is a post that he is calling out Zero, where we will read it right here. Zero weighed in on the recent Hacks drama after Hacks' passing, which we covered in a video. And Zero called out Leffen by saying, so Leffen, banned in Sweden for awful behavior, tried to ruin HBox and smear him, tried to ruin M2K2, profited off of ruining me publicly to then pretend he's my friend while I'm laying in a hospital bed, and now the events with Hacks we all witnessed. When is enough enough? And Comments Cop quote tweeted Zero after he tried to weigh in on the active drama and bring himself into it by calling out Zero and saying, so Zero groomed a 14-year-old for months, lied about not knowing the age, also confessed to soliciting ends from the 14-year-old, suddenly claims the confession was false, sues for defamation but couldn't deny soliciting ends from the 14-year-old in the lawsuit, settles the lawsuit and acts like it's a win, claims he has evidence of innocence but won't show it, still attends Smash Bros events despite being banned, still a predator with no remorse, still supported by retards like Technicals. When is enough enough? And shows the DMs where Zero messaged a girl saying, yay, tell me more about you. And she said, oh, I'm 14. I'm a girl. I'm smart, but I love Smash. And Zero replied, Lamau, you're such a cute, mad, adorable girl. Yeah, no one knows what we're doing. But back to Boblax's post calling out this post against Zero. Clockwise replies by saying, it's almost like Zero is currently tweeting and had an article written. But I shouldn't expect the almost everything talked about in that videos from 5 years ago guy to think there's an expiration date on when you can talk about about drama. How did that year-late Mama Max video do, by the way? Comment Cop himself then replies to Boblox by saying, unfortunately, you didn't make a single Twitter versus about this topic for some reason and have since nuked your career. Game over. And Boblox replies, because I didn't want to, especially after you and Augie begged me to for weeks on end in group chats. You guys were so obsessed with destroying technicals, it was obnoxious. Also, your Zaptai video would stand the test of time in people's minds, Lamau. Your ego is nuts. And Comment Cop replies, yeah, I'm sure it had nothing to do with you being a lazy, spineless pussy. Anyway, the Hood watches Internet Versus now. Yes, okay, thank you guys. Thank you everybody, thank you. Boblox replies, what Spineless is making a secret expose video on me under another username. Because you were mad, people in Augie's live chat where against and when our argument during Boo Boss was happening. That's really how he worded it. Then he attaches a screenshot of a video from 4 years ago titled Boblox versus false copyright strikes, which Comment Cop uploaded. Comment Cop replies laughing and saying, bro really thinks I'm him. And Josh replies, Lamau, why are you still lying about this? And Comment Cop replies with this emoji calling Boblox crazy. Technicals then catches wind of this allegation and quote tweets Josh by saying, Boblox, close friend of Diorio, has confirmed that Nick has been LARPing with himself on Comment Cop for years. And he attaches screenshots of Nick and Comment Cop's interaction, such as Nick posting this image of Leffen and saying, I saw someone post this AI abomination unironically and honestly dude I'm sold. And Comment Cop replies, Hitler reimagined. Cam saying, is he actually dead? Is there an obituary or whatever? And Comment Cop says, I don't know, the whole thing is sus. And lastly, Comment Cop saying, I never said Hax's death was sus. Before the funeral, I said I didn't know if he was actually dead because the person on the Hax account was tweeting crazy shit like they were hacked. Technicals replies with the screenshot that we looked at earlier of the YouTube interactions and saying he doesn't deny it in this YouTube comment thread either. Boblox replies to this by saying, I still can't believe he made an expose video on me under another username. And Technical says, what are real friends for if not constantly stabbing each other in the back? And Boblox replies, you'd know best since you got hit with the Diorio collab curse along with John Swan and Mudahar. Algar FC replies to Technicals by saying, I can't believe this. Shout out to Mr. Miss Manchihi. And Tech replies, grab a plate. We eaten like Diorio today. Michael Alberto then catches wind of this when he screenshots a image of Comment Cop posting about him getting blocked and captions it, Nicholas Diorio just got exposed for running the popular Comment Cop account. For years, Diorio would have constant public conversations with himself. Here's him talking to himself about me, for example. Actually psychotic. And attaches Nick replying to Comment Cop getting blocked by saying, which is crazy because I'm blocked by Michael on every single Twitter account I have, even alts I haven't signed into in a while. He panders to people who hate me by complaining about me blocking people when none of my followers or friends can see his tweets either. Brokey replies by adding Flamenco TV and saying thoughts on this whole ordeal, and then Flamenco also weighs in by saying, a person with an extremely fragile ego is Q Twitter account that gasses himself up, extremely pathetic and gay, so extremely believable. Nick then tweets out a post Comment Cop made attacking Carl Jobst and captions it, how can I be fucking Comment Cop? I literally don't think Carl is a scammer. Like, dude, I would have to be posting complete lies on my main account to say my real opinion on a faceless Chris Hansen alt, and makes a separate tweet saying, my real secret is that I'm actually Leffen stretched wider in post-production. I then screenshot Technical's tweet and post, there is no way Technicals really believes this. Just no way. If a close friend, lol, making up a completely baseless accusation is all it takes for Tech to blindly believe it, Augie is actually Comment Cop. We've been hiding it all these years. And Diorio replies to my post by saying, all of my enemies have a collective low IQ they pulled together. Sailor also screenshots Tech's post and says, how Technicals is credible to literally anyone amazes me. Literally just believing anyone who has anything bad to say about his enemies. Augur FC tweets out, believe it or not, but I do have proof that Nick is Comment Cop too. And Nick replies, no. Boblox compiles the last few posts and Nick Diorio's interactions with them and attaches this image of a coping Wojak. Comment Cop tweets out, Detective Tech has cracked the case, and shows Boblox saying, Nick is really Comment Cop, and then Technical saying, Boblox has confirmed that Nick has been LARPing with himself on Comment Cop for years. And Nick replies, thank God I spent years DMing myself psychotically to talk about drama. And Comment Cop says, you sick fuck, and attaches DMs between him and Nick Diorio where he is saying, when's your R stream? Then Dark Viper AU decides to weigh in when he quote tweets Technical's original post by saying, anyone can can see Nicholas DeOrio is seriously mentally ill. It's hard to tell how much of his bullshit he knowingly makes up and what comes from genuine delusion. He is Comment Cop? I wouldn't be surprised if he ran most of the accounts that interact with him. Who else would? And Nick screenshots this and posts it on his page by saying, "You're not going to believe this. Literally every single person who hates me online pushed a baseless Boblaxian allegation purely out of hatred and spite today. Remember this or don't. I'm never going to stop referencing it," and attaches a trophy that says "fell for it again." Spondyle replies, "This guy got mad at the fact that Willie Mack called him a GTA 5 speedrunner. That's apparently incorrect, but we'll just run with something completely baseless." Willie Mack Show also weighs in by screenshotting the Dark Viper post and saying, "All my favorite people in one place." And Mockery replies, "Boblax lied about having BPD and not being a fetish account, yet we're supposed to believe him that he knows who's behind Comment Cop." And Willie Mack says, "I am behind Comment Cop." Back to the original Boblax allegation, Josh then quote tweets Comment Cop, the one where he's saying bro really thinks I'm him, and says, "Next lie by DeOrio/Comment Cop is going to be saying that my first tweet is somehow me defending Zero and not just pointing out how he's still obsessed with him 3 years later because of Technical's video. Just want to get ahead of that since I know it's probably what they're planning in Tea Party DM chat right now." Nicholas DeOrio then screenshots a compilation of all the people responding, Technical's Michael Alberto Boblax, and captions it by saying, "The Legion of Down Syndrome has assembled. I cannot stress enough how much I am not Comment Cop, and these complete morons broke their no Nick tweet roll just to walk into a rake." Samuel weighs in by screenshotting Technical's post and saying, "I see where Technicals is coming from. Boblax, the guy who struggled to simply read tweets for a living and had a secret OF account, which he went backwards and forwards lying about, is clearly the most trustworthy, reliable, and stable guy." Michael Alberto screenshots the Legion of Down Syndrome tweet and says, "I'm not the biggest fan of insulting the disabled. It also doesn't work when you look disabled," attaching this image comparing himself and Nick DeOrio and saying physiognomy is real. Yes, this picture of Michael Alberto, this is the one he attached. Glitz then quote tweets Michael Alberto with this picture of him in the caption, "Michael Alberto, the greasy bulimic transgender, thinks Nicholas DeOrio is being insecure to compare him to someone with Down syndrome. I do agree with his sentiment, as people with Down syndrome have joy and purity within their hearts. Michael has degeneracy and hatred in his." And Nick replies, "The most shocking thing about seeing a picture of Michael Alberto at a funeral was that the funeral wasn't his own. He should probably eat something." Michael Alberto then screenshots us and says, "DeOrio will wish death upon you and still can't stop talking about eating food. Put the donuts down for once." And Technicals replies, "Maybe you could get some advice from him on how to bulk. If you take his routine and divide it by 4, you should have a pretty sustainable diet." Technicals then screenshots the Legion of Down Syndrome post and says, "Nick, fat, denies the Comment Cop allegations. Until I see a video of him squatting 200 pounds below parallel, he is Comment Cop. I can't trust Nick as far as I can throw him. Until further notice, Nick is and always has been Comment Cop." Dark Viper then quote tweets Technicals by saying, "Oreo, professional liar, has denied it. As he spent years provably lying, maybe this shouldn't be taken at face value. A network of fake accounts is more believable than his finding a single friend as mentally ill as he is to boost every lie he invents." Then AllUFC tweets out, "Breaking. Now that Nicholas DeOrio has admitted to being Content Cop, disturbing clips are beginning to resurface. In this 6-year-old clip, DeOrio asks who Comment Cop really is, while simultaneously typing from the account in chat. Disturbing levels of manipulation here," and attaches this clip.
Here's the thing. Normally what I would say is if Comment Cop wants to talk to you, that would work, but he doesn't use his voice. So I don't know if that would really...
Dude, I wonder who you think Comment Cop is somebody in the community?
You know what I was wondering, like, what if
the
Comment Cop got into a VC and like it was like a girl or something? It was like just really like unexpected.
A girl in the commentary committee? Oh, okay.
What?
That's impossible. That's impossible.
So, wait, did Comment Cop used to be the Australian Gamer Police?
Look at this. Wait. Look at this. Oh my god.
Hold on. CSI enhance that shit, boys.
Enhanced, freeze, and enhance.
Oh my god, wait a minute.
He lost some thickness.
I kept thinking it was...
That's fucking grifter!
You literally face tuned him thinner?
It's literally Chris Hansen. Why did I not
explode!
Why did I not know this? I thought his profile picture was iDubbbz just because it was Content Cop, Comment Cop. It was playing
me
that.
too. For the longest time, someone had to tell me he wasn't iDubbbz, like
yeah,
his profile pic.
Comment Cop replies, truly disturbing. Spondyle replies, mentions a girl in the commentary community. Boblax immediately perks up. After all of this went down and some memes were made, Zero then weighs in, replying to the original technicals tweet that we read at the beginning of the video by saying, from what I've seen, for an individual that puts so much effort and energy in being this hateful and jealous of others, he should redirect it into himself and work on his body and fitness and heal. And Tech replies, he could benefit from some personal training, unironically. I met him in person and he literally waddles when he walks. Good times. Nicholas Diorio then screenshots Zero by saying, send me some cardio tips, dude. I got the tools I need for the rest. I call this baby my sewer slide note, and attaches image of someone working out lifting a bunch of ice cubes. Comment Cup tweets out this interaction laughing and then says, Zero, I can assure you nobody is jealous of the Smash Bros. S Predator, who now wears makeup and takes steroids, attaching this image of Zero. Diorio replies, my job gets so easy when the people who constantly slander me continue to post completely false shit about me and lash out personally when they realize they fucked it up again. Tommy C tweets out, strange if Nicholas Diorio is Comment Cop because Comment Cop predates Nick being on Shot from the Point for the first time and me knowing Nick at all. It attaches this video.
So what's crazy about Nick being Comment Cop is Comment Cop again. I'm pretty sure he was leaving messages on my videos all the way back in 2017 before Nick got involved. It also means if Nick started a drama with me, this would be 2 dramas me and had where I guess Nick did me so dirty, or Comment Cop did me so dirty, that he called me a liar, something I said about Keemstar. And then when I answered the criticism, they took the liar part out. Comment Cop took the liar part out. And they eventually admitted that it was really a timeline error on my part when I was talking about something that happened with Keem like 2 years earlier. They left the video up. I think the video's still up. And I think that predates, I don't know about Nick being a fan, but definitely predates Nick being on the team. And that would mean it predates Bobax. That's right. Bobax, one of the reasons Bobax got big is I helped him with the video. I forget, it was something to do with Pokemon. I wrote one of his videos. And then he eventually hooked up with Augie. He did his stupid open folders thing. Met a bunch of people within my community. Started something with Augie. Augie got super big. And then he got super big after he talked to one of my friends, Scrubby, who gave him the idea for Twitterverses to begin with. So that means that Bobax knew that Nick was Comment Cop before he knew me, before I knew Nick, and before Nick was on my team. Boy, Nick, you're a dirty bastard. 2 traumas? You know, wasn't tagging me with the green M&M enough? You did me that dirty? Or is Bobax full of shit trying to suck off technicals?
He then follows up his video by saying, 2018 was Nick's first post on the private Shot from the Point server. It's still for Shot from the Point news members only. So Nicholas Diorio made a secret exposed video on me and had only been on the Shot from the Point team for a few months. I guess he only told Boblax about being Comment Cop and not me. Also, Boblax, Nick, and Augie did not stream together until after open folders, and that was in 2019. He attaches images proving as such. Diorio replies by saying, the best that they could come up with to get me was that I'm so successful, I have created a second alter ego account that garnered 40,000 followers independently from my streaming and video making career. Tommy continues to weigh in when he quote tweets Nicholas Diorio in the Legion of Down Syndrome tweet and attaches this video.
So let me get this straight. Tacticals, in attempt to discredit Comment Cop, he went to Bobax, who is a really good source, and Bobax told him that Comment Cop was Nick all along, and even if he was, it wouldn't really discredit him. But we've shown, because the timeline doesn't work at all, if you check some of my past posts, it sounds like Bobax just made it up, which is really making me look forward to Tactical's video on hacks or on that situation. Because if he's willing to use Bobax as a source, I guess we'll just believe everything he says. In fact, it's probably a sign that Tacticals is just going to make shit up like he usually does. And that's why I dislike him so much, because he's willing to do just about anything to win other than make a truthful video or a truthful post. even use Bobax. It's really amazing to me. It's the funny thing about Tex is he can't move the needle. He had it at all for anything other than his own little community. So they'll swallow all his shit up, but most of them are going to look back at him as being the weird guy who stood up in a funeral and made it about himself and smashed instead of the dead kid sitting behind him, and the guy who continues to defend a dude that told a 14-year-old girl to stick ice in her pussy. That's what'll happen when Technical's video is over. Nothing will change. The needle won't be moved. His fans will be happy, and it'll give me content to laugh at him with.
Comment Cop then tweets out this image with a caption, "The best part of people believing I'm Nick DiOrio is his entire rogues gallery of retards coming out to confirm how much this account bothers them." And the image has Michael Alberto, Flamenco, Dark Viper, Technicals, and Boblax all behind Comment Cop Nick DiOrio. Matt Jarbo replies, "It's like the Avengers Endgame of retards." And Comment Cop says, "I am inevitable." DiOrio replies, "My favorite tweet was Peepaw Ritter saying there's no way we're the same person because you follow him and I never would." Michael Alberto then repeats his one and only joke by quote tweeting Nick and saying "fixed it for you," where he had AI make the cop fat and also for some reason remove him and Flamenco on the left and right. I don't know why that happened, but there is that. Technicals then replies to this by saying, "Pretty accurate how the commentary community's best soldier is some fat guy who blocks everyone, commissions himself looking skinnier, and runs from the debates. Only impact he's had in the last 5 years has been on his knees and ankles." And Boblax replies, "Another funny thing about the commissions he does is how he always plays a dress up with them to seem cooler or own the people he's beefing with, like making himself a mob boss, Homelander, or Chris Hansen as a cop." Technicals replies, "I'd use Sonus too if I was slowly fusing to my chair." And Boblax says, "That's unfair of you to say. He gets a lot of exercise when he waddles downstairs to his dad's basement and plays with his pinball machines." Acer replies to Boblax by saying, "Wait, didn't you beg that dude for rent money?" Nike replies to Boblax by saying, "This is very unfortunate to say when your mom is suing your ass dog." And Recon replies, "This is Boblax when there is no one to tard wrangle him anymore. Just pathetic." Yeet then also catches wind of this and weighs in by saying, "We got some YouTube commentary community drama brewing. Boblax made allegations that Nick DiOrio is the man behind Comment Cop. Other accounts such as Dark Viper AU backed up Boblax. DiOrio denies these allegations and claims Boblax is just making shit up." Lazy Shell replies with this image in the caption, "You can always count on the Tank Top tag team to spit straight facts." I then tweet out, "Don't let the Comment Cop fiasco distract you from the fact Bobby got exposed for having a secret alt where he creepily self-promoted as if he was someone else, browsing Asian corn while talking about Keemstar and the commentary community. That is why he created this lie." Just Some Randy replies to me by saying, "I hate that a thread with a heavy amount of evidence of Boblax using an alt that for years shared niche content related to Boblax, 400 view videos of him and his friends, is being put on the same credibility standard as Boblax saying, 'Yeah, that's Nick.' Like, are we being serious?" And I reply, "It's only from the most intelligent and highly credible people, like Technicals, Michael Alberto, Joshy, Flamenco, etc. Every burned commentary member just came out of the woodworks to openly believe a lie with zero proof. I honestly give props to Josh for exposing them so easily." Then Boblax somewhat responds to the Stone Dagger allegations when SIC Unchained tweets out a compilation of the tweets that we have read, including the last one of mine that we just read, and Josh replies, "The new bottom of the barrel drama about me is that I watch Asian corn and self-promote it on Reddit. Somehow it's creepy. Okay. And Screechy replies, "The self-promoting on Reddit is cringe because you did it as a sock account and talked about yourself in the third person. If you just shilled your shit, it wouldn't have been as cringe. Also, the Asian corn stuff just shows that you're a weird-ass gooner." The last video I uploaded on I'm Alex hit 1,000 likes, which means I will be streaming myself reading all 750 pages of Alice's response documents. So if you want to tune into that, turn on notifications. I will be making a community post. Shout out to Kiko and Sal Saud, our tier 3 internet representative members, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.